This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN.Live, and we're at the LD Micro Main Event 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me right now is Jeff Thompson from RedCap, publicly traded company. The symbol is RCAT. Jeff, welcome to SNN.Live.
Hey, thanks for having me here.
It's great to have you on. So for our audience, we'll start off with an overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, what RedCat does is we deliver drone software as a service, a SaaS business model that's basically drone analytics. And then we store that data in the cloud. So it's basically a drone storage cloud analytics platform. A lot of buzzwords in there.
So let's get a history of the company. When did it start, and how did the company evolve to where you're currently at today?
Yeah, so my previous jobs were in the telecom business, and I resigned from a public company that I ran for 10 years in the NASDAQ in 2015. And I looked for new ventures, and the drone industry was something that's just becoming is just starting to go from being a toy to actual commercial use. I started getting really interested in it, and I said, you know what, this is where I want to go next. So I started a drone company in 2016 is when we were founded. It's actually founded out of Puerto Rico, and I basically have been touring the island and the universities and hiring engineers right out of schools there and building a great analytics platform for the drone industry.
All right, so because in the drone industry, I've done a lot of interviews with different drone companies who have different solutions and products. So what would you say makes RedCat different and unique compared to your peers out there?
So there's a couple things. Everyone loves building drone hardware and products, and a lot of people are trying to go into the traffic management, like trying to basically air traffic control, and a couple of those have been famous flameouts with really big, well-known investors. But what RedCat's doing is we're going after the boring part of the industry. We're going after basically what we replicate a black box on a drone. And for the commercial industry to blossom, we have to replicate a lot of the things that are in the traditional airlines. So for the commercial drone industry to actually really kick in, they've got to be insurable, and they've got to be trackable, and you've got to be able to audit every single flight, just like you do with any traditional airliner. Because people don't realize this, but drones are aircraft now. They're going to be mixing with the Universal Traffic Management System, which is the traditional airlines. So they are now, like when UPS just got their designation by the FAA, they are now considered a drone airline. So now we are basically, these companies are becoming airlines, so they have to perform like an airline. What does every airplane have? And we've talked, a lot of people didn't know what black boxes were until like a year ago. We had two kind of very famous plane crashes. That's a tragedy, but all of a sudden everybody knows what a black box is. And it's basically the thing they go find out to say, how do we replay all the details of a flight? Drones are going to be the same exact thing. You cannot be flying above people where you could crash, fall into them, hit a car, do whatever it could do without the drone being trackable, without being able to audit the flight, every single item that happens, and to replay that flight accurately. So this is going to enable insurance companies to rely on this data, and it's going to enable regulators to rely on this data.
And so right now, where are we at currently right now with your company's products and solutions? Are we currently selling to the market, or are we in the development phase?
Yes, so we're going to be launching in the first half of 2020. We've had hundreds of pilots that have beta tested the product and help us develop some of the final features that we're putting into the software. And the next phase for us now is actually we're working on some case studies with some very large businesses that have large fleets of drones. So we're working with them, say, what are the last features that you need to do your fleet management, to be able to stay compliant with the FAA, to stay compliant with your insurance company, or to get the data the insurance companies would need to do this.
So you already alluded to my next question a little bit, but I got to ask, what would you say are some of the company's goals and growth drivers now for 2020?
Yeah, well, A is to launch the software on time, but that's goal number one. And then for us, we're looking at there's a couple things that we're looking for, and one of the things that we're doing is we've announced previously that we're doing a couple of acquisitions. We're not doing any type of a roll up, but there's some really great drone companies out there right now that need capital and that could are startups or bootstraps and don't have the structure they need to really grow to that next level, but great operators, great technology. and would be a great lead source for the software. So we're pretty far along with some of that, and we hope to get that done as we have previously announced. But as we're doing that, the goal for us is to the companies that we're acquiring are basically like the fighter pilots of the industry. So and they do racing and freestyle, and those drones can go 120 miles an hour. So our goal is, if our software can do great analytics on something that's going 120 miles an hour and doing flips, that our analytic platform will be very useful for, say, an Amazon that's going 30 miles an hour 5 miles down the road.
And where can our audience go and find more information about RedCat?
You can go to www.redcat.red.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN Live, and we're at the LD Micro Main Event 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me again has been Jeff Thompson from RedCat, publicly traded company. The symbol is RCAT. Jeff, it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.